For its 200th original presentation, the Hallmark Hall of Fame assembled a stellar cast and crew. Oscar winner Sissy Spacek, Emmy winner Alfre Woodard, Tony Award winner Judith Ivey, series stars James Tupper and Julianne Emery, Academy Award-winning director Tony Bill, and two remarkably talented young actors, Ridge Knipe and Jodelle Ferland. What attracted them to this project? A sensitive, moving script based on Patricia Riley Gift's Newbery Honor book, Pictures of Hollis Woods. 12-year-old Hollis Woods has been in more foster homes than she cares to remember. There is one family, though, that she'll always remember, the Regans, where she spent a wonderful summer. But when that didn't work out, Hollis began to think she would never have a family to call her own.
I don't care.
Well, I suggest you start. I'm a social worker, not a magician. We're running out of options for you, you know?
Then Edna, Hollis's patient and caring social worker, takes her to live with Josie Cale, a retired art teacher. Josie opens her home and her heart to the young girl.
I don't believe you. Just drop your bag anywhere. This is my place. I've lived here since they invented the spoon.
Who invented the spoon?
And the two develop a strong bond. However, when it becomes apparent that Josie is developing Alzheimer's and Hollis may be forced to move again, the two take off. During their Christmas adventure, Hollis discovers that miracles are still possible.
It's a wonderful story of a young girl. It's the kind of book that I loved to read to my girls when they were young.
The story captivated me because I do a lot of children's advocacy. The idea of doing a story about foster care really interested me.
James Tupper and Julianne Emery also felt a close connection to the story.
My father was an elementary school principal, and he adopted my older sister. Yeah, when she lost her family. He didn't want to see her go to foster home, so he took her in, and she is, I can say singularly that was the best day of my entire youth, when I met her and she came into our family.
My brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they have fostered 3 children. I think being a foster parent is one of the most generous things that you can do. It's not just saying I want to do something to help, it's actually doing it, and doing it on a day-to-day level that's very difficult because a lot of these kids have problems.
As a script, I thought it was very moving and very universal in a surprising way. That is to say, not everybody has encountered a foster child or a foster family, but parents always kind of wonder if they're doing the right thing with their kids. And so it has a universal aspect to it that I was moved by.
The way it is written is natural, it just flows, and doesn't feel forced or contrived.
In a good script, you can just speak as if you're speaking, and you want to say and do the things that you're doing, so you're not being forced, and that's the way this was.
When I read the script, I cried. And I cried over very simple moments in the script. There's a scene earlier where she brushes her teeth and she looks at the 3 toothbrushes and she puts hers back in her backpack. And then later in the script, she's in the bathroom and she makes the decision to put her toothbrush with everyone else's. And it's such a beautifully written moment and such a simple moment. But again, I can't even think about it without welling up. There are several of those moments in this script.
That sensitivity to nuances in the story continued as the film was being shot.
I just did what a director is never supposed to do, which is after you've shot a scene, you have a better idea, and you say, hey, maybe we should redo that scene in another way. As written and as originally staged, the young girl inside the bus is looking through a window at people outside the bus having an argument. So when we look at her sitting in the bus, it's just a shot of a girl sitting in a bus. Then I thought, well, what if when we see her looking through the window, we hear the argument? And when we go inside the bus, she doesn't. it'd be more interesting filmmaking. So now we're closing the window to see whether or not my idea is going to cost us a lot of time, in which case I'm going to lose my idea.
I was so excited when I found out Tony Bill was directing this, because he is someone I have admired through the years. He's something, and terrific to work with, you know. The director who trusts. It's probably the greatest characteristic, attribute you can have as a director, is to trust.
He has excellent taste. He's a wonderful artist, and he's very calm, and he brings a sense of peace and calm to the set.
He likes things to be spontaneous. Tony likes to catch real moments on camera. So even if we do the scene a few times, he'll throw in something to create a spontaneous moment.
So we had a little scene this morning where it's kind of a simple concept. The little girl runs in to tell her lady friend that they gotta go, hurry up, gotta go. So how do you do that? Where do you run and stop? How close do you get to somebody? How do you keep it interesting so that the camera helps the actor give a sense of urgency to the scene? How do you make the scene make sense in the context of the rest of the movie? And whose idea is that? You're the boss in this scene. You're going to tell her what to do, and how to do it, and when to do it, and why. Yeah.
Okay.
And if she doesn't listen to you, you're going to keep right on telling her.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So, I like to take advice from everybody. I like to take the cameraman's advice about, well, it would be more interesting if we put the camera here. I like to take the actor's advice. Maybe we should change this line and put it there. And even this morning, after everything was all said and done, it was great. The prop man came over to me and he said, you know, if she didn't put her bag on the floor, but she put it up on the stove, then she would have her hands free and she wouldn't have to bend over to put cat food in the bag. I said, great idea. So everybody's got good ideas, and I think the director's job is, as Orson Welles once said, to preside over the accidents.
He also has a real knack for seeing what you're offering and allowing you to work on your own, and then comes in just at the right time. He's a former actor, so he speaks our language.
His goal is always naturalism and realism, and he loves to make the family fun.
The only thing I insist on as a director is that everybody on the set have a good time and that they all behave nicely toward each other. Not that you have to insist on it, but if you don't have that attitude, you can kind of create a set where people start not having fun.
You hear the laughter back there? This is what it's been like all day long, every day. All day long we play. I never have spent so much time with the cast. We eat together, we hang out together between shots. We play all day long. Oh, here are the men in my life.
In addition to the good-natured fun, the cast and crew shared respect for each other's talents.
This is one of those movies where the old saying about the best thing a director can do is get out of the actor's way applies. We have such talented performers. Sissy brings an unusual, natural quality to all of her roles. Sissy is another one of those actresses that can't be false. That's the quality of great actresses, actors.
Sissy was a big draw for me coming here besides Hallmark. I'm always game for Hallmark. I like to go where good people are, where smart people are, and where people want to make films that change the quality of people's lives. So that's why I wanted to be here, and the fact that Sissy was starring in it.
Sissy is incredibly generous and an incredibly sweet spirit and very dedicated to the work and her role, but not just her work in the scene. Sissy is dedicated to the whole scene, to everyone's work, which is a really giving thing. It's really nice as a fellow actor. Alfre Woodard, I have admired her work for so long, and it's such an honor to get to work with her. And I didn't know what to expect when she showed up on set the first time, but she is also a lovely, giving, kind person. We got so lucky. We have such a great set Such a great cast.
Again, a quality that is born of a lot of talent and a lot of experience, and a quality that certain actors have of being true and not pushing it. You don't find Alfred Woodard pushing it.
James he's a really great leading man, and he's a 12-year-old boy inside. We play all day long. He's fantastic with the kids, and he has a great sense of fun about him.
He was a great discovery for me. I didn't know his work before this, and I think he's absolutely terrific. I'm nuts about this guy.
James is great. He's like a big kid. He's awesome. Julianne's great, too. She's a great actress.
She's wonderful. She's, you know, she's such a mom, too. She's always like kind of telling me what to do. Like, okay, that's enough of that. You settle down with those kids. So she's fun. It feels like a family. It's weird. Like, we've come together very quickly, but we feel like a family.
Another fresh talent to me, and in addition to her talent, I'm enormously impressed by her professional approach to her work.
Yeah, she's really nice. She's great to work with.
Ridge he's a kid with a lot of experience and the ability to turn it on and off. He can be clowning around before the shot begins and then get right into it.
What? He's more talented than me. It's unbelievable. He just turned 13. I've been doing this more than 13 years. What the heck is going on? He's like, he plays this game with me. He's like, have you ever been nominated for an Emmy or award? And I'm like, well, no. And he's like, oh, that's cool. He's great. He's so talented and great. I feel so lucky to be with him, and Jodelle, too. They're just unbelievable.
This is her show, so she's doing a great job.
She's the real deal. We'll see her all the way through an adult career.
Jodelle is extremely well cast. She's a little more introverted, so once we started to gel as a group, hearing her laugh is one of the best sounds in the world.
She has no false moments in the movie. That's very rare. Never a false moment.
For the veteran actors, their focus was on an honest, accurate portrayal of their character.
Okay, without fail.
This character is in the early stages of Alzheimer's. And, you know, one of the important things for me was that the disease tracked properly throughout the film.
What I didn't want to do is play a social worker that is, you know, a do-gooder, a stereotype, a touchy-feely, you know, because I do know social workers too. And they're people that are in the trenches. They do the tough work as tough as policemen. They just don't carry a weapon, and they are trying to protect and serve.
The story of Hollis Woods covers 6 months, from June through Christmas. So one of the challenges for the crew was matching the seasons, making snow.
Stuff is fuzzy.
Yeah?
It's like cotton.
And matching their wardrobe and their attitude to the script rather than the actual weather.
It's weird, you know, seeing snow all around you, you think you should be cold, so you are cold, even though it's kind of hot out today.
For Jodelle Ferland, it's all just another part of the adventure of making a movie.
When I read a script, I don't ever really think it's going to be hard to do. I just think that it'll be something new to do or something, and you know, I just think it'll be fun. But I never really think of it as hard.
I don't think there's anything more interesting to watch than someone kind of grow up on screen. Someone who kind of gets, not changed, but who travels a journey on screen. And that's kind of what all movies are about. They're about the story, not of the plot, but the story of the person who's in the plot, the story of the character, the story of what's inside that person. Just a person who finds a strength of their own.
Thank you.
And I think that that's the journey that Hollis makes.
Her huge dream is to have a family, but when she gets close to that, she runs away. And I think sometimes we do run away from our greatest hopes. I hope it gives people courage to embrace those things when they're presented to them, to take that leap of faith into what they want. Sometimes that's scarier than anything else.
More than 5 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease. If you or a loved one needs information or support, or to find out how you can help, visit the Alzheimer's Association's website at alz.org or call the toll-free helpline at 1-800-272-3900.